Howdy everybody, how y'all doing? Welcome to today's Penguin Sheriff announcement. Well, as your friendly neighborhood puppet Penguin Sheriff, I just wanted to remind you that whether you're a big Hollywood production company or studio or executive, right, and maybe you've been spending a few extra $1 million on 2 or 3 extra reshoots because the test audiences didn't really like what you showed them the first few times, and hopefully you can cobble something together that the public will eventually appreciate. Maybe you work in middle management and you're trying to prove your self-worth and importance, or maybe you're part of a consulting company and you're interested in taking another corporate brand because, well, again, you need to prove your value, right? Or maybe you're just, somebody more simple, like you're at home trying to, make a new recipe and, well, you hope it turns out well and you don't burn down the house because, that would be bad. And it's definitely good to have good safety things like a, fire extinguisher and things like that in the home. But, despite all that, whether your station in life or occupation or whatnot, I just want to remind you that it's, failure is an option, right? Because, there's people that say that failure is not an option, but in truth, well, if you look at all those guys who have lots of money backing them and they still have their jobs, it kind of shows you that, failure isn't the worst thing in the world, right? They're still somehow making it, and I know you're probably thinking, well, Punk, I only had enough money to buy the ingredients twice, and if I ruin it once, I really hope I get the hang of it the second time. And you're right, because, jokes aside about all the people that we don't understand why they still have jobs and why they're out there ruining all of our favorite things in entertainment, right? There's a lot of us here that are actually trying and putting effort into what we do and, trying to create a product or an outcome that is for more than just our own sort of validation, right? Because if I were to make a new sort of food or try to cook something, a new recipe, if you will, I would hope it turned out the way it's supposed to, right? I wouldn't just throw in extra ingredients because I thought that was a good idea, right? But like I said, the truth is, failure is not the worst thing in the world because, like I said, a lot of us can learn from our mistakes and learn how to get better. And sometimes being able to look at something that didn't go as well and didn't meet your expectations means we get to, well, try again. But like I said, try a little bit better and see the thing that maybe didn't work last time, but if we tweak it a little bit, maybe it'll turn out a lot better, right? Because I think we're all interested in improving ourselves and in improving our skills. Unless we get to a point where we're too stuck up and arrogant to think that we've reached the pinnacle of and height of success, which, maybe somebody has, but I don't know them, and it's definitely not me, right? So, like I said, all jokes aside, it's okay to fail once in a while, and even sometimes often while you're trying to get that one thing, right? Trying to learn that new skill or whatnot, because you know what? It takes time, and a lot of things worthwhile in life take a little bit more effort. So, and you know what? I believe you'll get there. So, don't be too discouraged, even if you do fail, because we're all trying, and we're all figuring it out together. So, that's all I got for today. So, if you see somebody that's struggling, let them know that, even if it's not exactly what they wanted, that you see they're trying, and, let them know that their effort has value. So, until next time, we'll see you later. Bye!